Let's bring in my panel, Sky News Outsiders co-host, Herald Sun columnist, the wonderful Rita Panahi, and Melbourne City Councillor, man with a lot on his plate at the moment, Nick Rees. I'll start with you, Rita. You saw the press conferences yesterday. You've seen the reactions today. What do you make of Daniel Andrews' road to nowhere?
Well, road to nowhere is right. It really is just more of the same. And a lot of people seem to think, oh, we're only having stage 4 extended for another 2 weeks. No, it's been extended till the end of October in terms of the curfew. We're going to have a curfew until late October. And even then, we have absolutely no security that these onerous restrictions will be lifted, because the benchmarks we have to hit are just utterly insane. So we could be in this same position largely by late November, maybe at Christmas. And it is utter madness. The rest of the country has got this under control. If they were following Victoria's guidelines, Sydney would be under a curfew right now. They'd be locked down. I mean, would anyone even contemplate that sort of madness, given the lives and the livelihoods that are being willfully destroyed because this government has decided to pursue an eradication strategy without a vaccine being available? That's where the madness is. We don't have a vaccine. We have no date for when a vaccine will become available, if we have one available at all. And this government is pursuing an eradication strategy that can only work with a safe, effective vaccine. I cannot put into words how disgusted I am and how sorry I am for this beautiful state that is really in an absolute state of disaster in every sense of the word.
Nick, I want to go to you as a Melbourne City Councillor. I mean, the damage to the CBD at the moment is pretty horrific. I just had Chris Lucas on, who owns a number of restaurants, including Chin Chin, which most people in Victoria would know about. He was scathing, lack of consultation. I think the worry that he may come back because he's a larger scale business, but he says, so many won't, the bars and restaurants, everything that you as a Melbourne City Councillor sell to tourists to come and see in Melbourne may well not survive this latest lockdown. What do you want to see happen as a Melbourne City Councillor?
Well, look, can I start by saying I agree with you. Chris Lucas is an incredible Melbourne restaurateur. He's one of the best in the business, and some of his restaurants have broken new ground in this city and are a real part of the secret sauce why so many people from interstate and overseas want to come to Melbourne and enjoy everything that our restaurant scene has to offer. And he's right. Melbourne restaurants are hanging on by a thread, and the measures that were announced yesterday did shock a lot of people, including myself, in terms of the severity and length for which those restrictions are going to continue. Now, I did see the Premier today made the right call, which is if the numbers come down more quickly than expected, then he would be responding accordingly and adjusting the restrictions. And, of course, today we've seen numbers come in of 41 new cases, subsequently revised downwards to 36 cases because 5 cases were misclassified. And so if we do see that curve continuing to come down severely, hopefully it will be a lot earlier than November before we see normality return to life in Melbourne and Victoria.
Well, we'll see. I want to go to the US, Rita. There's this growing storm facing Donald Trump. He is denying accusations. He made disparaging remarks about US soldiers who were captured or killed in battle. It all goes to an Atlantic magazine article that apparently the allegation is he cancelled a visit to a US cemetery just outside of Paris in 2018 because he said it was filled with the losers. What do you make of this story?
Oh, well, I don't believe it. Single word of it, and I would say that most people who would contemplate voting for Donald Trump won't believe a word of this. The media have cried wolf too many times. This story sounds ludicrous on the face of it. It is anonymously sourced, and the most hilarious thing is multiple media outlets now saying We have confirmed it. Speaking to the same anonymous source that the original author spoke to isn't confirmation, and the justification the author has given for why the sources have remained anonymous is the most amazing thing you would hear. His explanation is they don't want to get angry tweets, so that's why they have remained anonymous. It has absolutely no credibility. This is just another campaign to discredit Trump, and I think it's one that with his supporters will just not stick. They won't even believe that it's feasible, that he would have said that. And there's been multiple people who've come forward who were on that trip and said it never happened. They've said that on the record, but yet these anonymous sources who will not put themselves up and own up to their words are claiming that he's made these disparaging remarks. I really don't think it's going to change too many votes, but I could be wrong.
All right, got to leave it there. I'm sorry to leave you short of time, but Nick Rees, Rita Panahi, thank you as always.
Thank you.